Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. We appreciate you coming on in Canada. Happy Canada Day. And not a holiday in the United States this morning, but let's see who comes on. Even on the holiday, Andrea, Michael, Brahim, the Trinity is back. Kevin, you're right up at the top. Rosalinda, good morning. Yes, happy Canada Day, July 1st. Karen, Peterborough, Janice, good morning to you. And Fran, how are you from Orangeville this morning? Nice to have you on. Sherry, good to have you on. Rosa, Modiel, Gail from Saskatchewan. Dave, how are you from Muskoka? Good morning to you. Joanne and Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Nick from our staff. Sandy from Chilliwack, BC. Sue, good morning to you. Francis Marie, nice to have you on this morning. Diane, Thunder Bay, we appreciate you big time. Norma, Texas, good morning. Helga, Arlene, good morning to you. And Barishan, good morning. Tina and Cindy, Frida and Darlene. Denise, how are you? Oakville. Leslie, good morning. Thunder Bay. April, how are you? Lou Ella, West Tennessee. David from Ridgeway, good morning. Marianne from London. Linda, we love Linda's, St. Jude, Quebec. Kathy, Simcoe, Ontario. Nativity, good morning. Donna from Bell Ewart. And Hyles, Mary. Gander, Newfoundland, how are you? Maureen from Boca Raton. Sandra. Clinton, how are you? From Wyoming. Cecilia. Guys, coast to coast. Wendy in Wasaga. Diane, LaSalle. Anne in St. Catharines. Carol, West Virginia. Sandy. Nativity, you're in the clouds. Lise, how are you? Well, we got a pretty good crowd, guys. Elaine, I didn't know what would happen this morning. Nikki, from Mexico. Francis from Vaughan. Milika from Stouffville, good morning. Carol from Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Amber, New Jersey. Norma, Yvonne, Petawawa, Bonnie, how are you? Debbie, Comox, British Columbia. Nellie, thanks for coming on, guys. We appreciate you. Rita, how are you? Joni, how are you from Alliston? Madeleine, Kepawa, Quebec, bonjour. Yolande, I am always waiting for you, Yolande. Linda, New Brunswick. Dave, and Lynn Marie, and Olga. Hi, Olga. How are you? Donna, and Catherine. Okay, let's get going, guys. There's Doc McEwen from West Tennessee, our dear friend Sharon and Sue, guys. Yeah, we got a beautiful day here, okay? We got a beautiful day here. The sun's out, getting the vitamin D today, guys. Don't even have to supplement. I guarantee 10,000 I use today for me and anybody that sees that sun out there. Get out in the sun. JP, how are you? Cheryl, okay. Okay, I'm just going to bring you some news headlines, okay? That's what we'll do this morning. Let me see here, okay? Some of them studies, some of them articles. Here's one. large study done comparing low carb diet to a low fat diet. Okay? Low carb diet, that's me. Low fat, that ain't me. That ain't me, babe. It ain't me. Okay? But they compared them. And let me just give you some of the results. Pretty incredible. Okay? Pretty incredible. Only the low carb diet lowered A1C. Low fat don't lower A1C. What's A1C? Your average. I love A1C, guys, more than, well, just testing your blood sugar, first of all, your glucose. You might have a glucose monitor or whatever. And I mean, I'm not against that. I'm just telling you, I'd rather look at your A1C. Because A1C is really, like, even you can get your insulin tested. Not against that either. The most accurate, in my opinion, and this goes with years and years and years of studying metabolic syndrome. 93% of the population have metabolic syndrome. 93%. Maybe even higher than that. Hard to believe. It's the big elephant in the room, guys, is metabolic syndrome, because it's at the root of heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, autoimmune. You name those big five, and the metabolic syndrome is at the root of it. And one of the most important readings, so you can do blood work. Like people, you know, at one time, I used to hear this on my radio show. Dr. Martin, you don't look at blood work? Yeah, I really like blood work. But what I didn't dismiss, okay, because this is why it was said, because I used to talk about the thyroid and having a thyroid problem, for example. And I said, well, you got a thyroid problem. Yeah, but my doctor said my tests are normal. I said, well, you know what? Symptoms trump the lab. But I'm not against lab work. As a matter of fact, I love lab work because it's really the best way to determine metabolic syndrome. It's just the way you look at it. Like, medicine hasn't been trained generally to look at metabolic syndrome. So what happens, when you don't look for something, you take blood work and, you know what, you know, you're within normal limits. You're not a diabetic. Your A1C is high, so what? It's not high enough for me to call you a diabetic. And so they don't react to it. And unfortunately, that leaves people in a real conundrum. And they don't know what to do. But I'm telling you, and this is why we talk about this all the time, A1C is important. It shouldn't be above 5.4. If it gets above 5.4, it doesn't mean disaster yet, but it means you're on the Titanic. And you need to be careful. If it gets above 5.4, you and carbs don't get along. And this is why I'm comparing this. I'm not doing it, but, well, I've done it. I shouldn't say I've never done it. I've done this a lot, but the studies are showing. This is a massive study comparing the low carb diet versus the low fat diet. And low fat diet just don't cut it. I don't want anybody on a low fat diet. I really don't. I want you to change your fats. I want you to change the oil, but I don't want you to not take oil. Okay? Only the low carb lowered A1C. Cut out the carbs, cut them way down, and you'll find really good results. And this is meant for everyone. Everyone. Lower carb. You know, I was kind of laughing because there's, this talk here. It amazes me, okay, that no one questions, okay, stopping eating peanuts if you have a peanut allergy, okay? Listen, I never saw that when I was a kid. Peanut butter sandwiches. And now you can't even take peanut butter to school. True or false? Okay? Why is that? Okay? That's a whole other topic. Why there's so much peanut allergy today? Why is there so much allergy to dairy today? Okay? Well, I have the answer to that. But I'm not talking about it today. Okay? But nobody, okay? So the school board, for example. Well, if we got a peanut allergy, you know what? Here's what we got to do at school. Nobody brings peanut butter to school anymore. And you know what? You can argue about it. But if a kid's hypersensitive to peanuts, well, you don't want to hurt a child, do you? So you conform. But it amazes me when you put the word carb out there, and that the vast majority of people have an intolerance to carb. Diabetes, guys, very simple. You have an allergy to carbs. Okay? The world doesn't want to acknowledge that. But it's a fact. You're a diabetic. You're a pre-diabetic. Your A1C is above 5.4. You and carbs don't get along. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You don't get along. Your body, because of insulin, and you used it too much, your cells became resistant to it. It didn't like it. It was like that pesky neighbor coming knocking on your door all the time. And your cells go, will you get out of here? I can't stand it anymore. You're always coming around. Well, what happens then, when you develop insulin resistance, you're in trouble. It's the start. It is, you bought your tickets on the Titanic. You're boarding on the maiden voyage. And you and millions of others. When I say you guys, you know I don't mean you. I mean the world out there. But they don't get it. They don't get it. Instead, they invent medication. Wegovy. Ozempic. Insulin. And I'm not saying, guys, insulin can save your life. I get it. But they don't even want to look at the cause. The cause is you and carbs don't get along. You got a peanut allergy? You do? Well, don't eat peanuts. You have a dairy allergy? I feel sorry for you. It's usually not butter, though. Okay? There's a reason for that, too. Okay. People that say they have a dairy allergy don't have trouble with butter, generally. They can have butter. But what I'm saying, guys, I think you get the message, right? Why is that like the kid's got a peanut allergy? Okay. He's got an EpiPen. And don't go near peanuts. And yet, we got half the population, and then if you include what they call a pre-diabetic, and then we have diabesity, and the answer to it is right in front of us. It's low carb. Not low fat. Fat don't make you fat. Fat don't clog up your arteries unless it's the wrong fat. And the world out there is in big time to the wrong fat. They love wrong fats. The fats that are meant for your car, they want you to consume because they are heart friendly. This is friendly on your heart, doesn't have any cholesterol in it. The world went stupid. The world went stupid. They got a heart on a cereal box. Heart healthy. They got a heart healthy decal on margarine. I haven't done this, but do it. Apparently it's true. Put margarine out on your deck. Okay? And put out butter. Find out which one the bugs will go to. The bugs are smarter than we are. They'll go to butter every time. The margarine, the bugs are saying to each other, what are these dummies doing? That ain't food. Margarine ain't food. It's frankenfood. It's made by man. Because man thinks they're smarter than God. True or false? Yeah, we're smarter. Get rid of the cholesterol. We'll get rid of heart disease. No, you won't. As a matter of fact, it's worse than ever. Lower your carbs. Yeah, lower the carbs and see what happens. I did it with tens of thousands. I'd like to tell you that it's only tens of thousands, but today, writing books, Sun, Steak, and Steel, the metabolic, the reset, probably over a couple of 100,000 people have done it. They've proven it to themselves. Blood work before and after. They can't get over it. Their doctors can't get over it. Their A1C comes down. Okay, let me just get back because where am I here? Okay, to this study. Incredible. Only low carb lowered A1C. They put the two diets together. They went low fat, no butter, no eggs, only lean meat, mostly fruits and vegetables. I'm not against that. I like fruits and vegetables. I do. Okay? I don't want you to live on them, but I like them. Okay? Only the low carb lowered A1C. Only the low carb reduced medication. Okay? When it came to insulin, when it came to metformin, which is an insulin-lowering medication, only the low-carb diet lowered not only A1C, but lowered the amount of medication. And we've talked about reversing diabetes. Okay? Guys, when you get to the root issue, my name is Tony, and I'm a carbaholic. When you get to the root issue, diabetes, okay? I'm a carbaholic, and me and carbs don't get along anymore. Not that we ever did. I liked them, but they never liked me. Okay? I adore carbs, but they don't adore me. Okay? And here we are today. We got more chronic disease than like it's Canada Day, okay? Here in Canada, we're the healthiest country in the world. No, we're not. And it ain't even close. We're not. We spend a lot of money. We spend a fortune in Canada on healthcare, so-called healthcare. Imagine the powers to be in our healthcare system almost know nothing of nutrition, and why today they still talk low fat today, even though it don't work. Low fat don't work. See, to a medical doctor, even a nutritionist, even a dietitian, most, not all, most. I'm making a blanket statement. They know nothing. It's always been, the word they love is moderation. They love that word, moderation. I tell you, if I went door to door in my hometown here, door to door, knock on the door and say, hello, I want to talk to you about food. Okay? What do you believe in food? Moderation. Moderation. Okay? You want to have some meat? Be careful. Moderation. Fruits and vegetables? As much as you want. Sugar? Everybody knows about sugar. Everybody. But here's what they know. Moderation. You need a little bit. You need some sugar for your brain. Most people don't know that, but they would say that, and that's not true. If you ask them, what's the best food for a diabetic, they might say, granola bar. They might say, I don't know if they would say it, but I think they might, fiber. And you know what I'm getting at, guys? It's not even I never ever blame the population out there. I don't blame them. They hear BS all the time. They don't know. The average person doesn't know. But you know what? The good thing is with social media today, okay, and programs like ours, a lot of people are listening in. It's amazing. And it's amazing, like I know one thing about my audience, they know more than 99% of every professional that I know. 99% of them don't know what you know. You know? 99% of them don't know what you know. So, what am I saying? Well, it's what this study says. Comparing low carb to low fat diet, only low carb lowered A1C. Only low carb reduced meds. You want to reduce your meds for diabetes? Or how many people are put on metformin in what they call a pre-diabetic state? Only the low carb diet will help that with that, okay? And high saturated fat improves. High saturated fat. You guys know me. I love saturated fat. I really do. I love butter. I love steak. Saturated fat. People saturate it. They have this vision in their head. Okay, it's a vision. Clogged arteries. Saturated fat clogs arteries. Okay? And they have that vision. Even physicians. Ooh. Cut back on saturated fat. When you see cream, doc, you really mean cream versus milk? Cream is better than milk? Well, for sure. Ask a farmer who's got dairy cattle and they milk a cow. What comes out? Cream. There's a lot of fat in whole milk. Lots of fat. And the powers to be, the geniuses in our society, you know what they did? We're going to get 2%. We're going to get skim milk. It won't clog your arteries with that saturated fat. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. You take out the saturated fat, now you're clogging your arteries. What? Yeah. Now it's the opposite of what you think. And when again, guys, I use that word you know what I mean by you. I don't mean you. I mean them. Okay? I don't mean you. I mean them. Because that's the way they think. That's the way they think. It's been drummed into them. Lower fat. Use skim milk. 2%. I hate that. 1%, 2%. I used to have a carton in my office. Ask my staff. I used to do that. Okay? It was empty. I didn't keep the milk there. But I keep a carton. I say, you see that 1% there? See the 2% milk or skim? Well, 2% is the size of your brain if you drink that stuff. Don't be a 2%er. Full fat. Why do you think I love heavy cream? It's saturated. It lubricates. It don't clog, it lubricates. See the fat around the steak? Eat it. It's good for you. Where do you think all the fat soluble vitamins are? How do you think the Inuit I don't know if they live like that today. Probably not, because they've imported McDonald's. I hate to pick on them. They're not the only one, right? Even McDonald's changed the oil. They were used to using lard, and they don't use it. Why? Because the heart healthy police came in and told them what to do. We're the police. We're the food police. Stop eating saturated fat. Quit cooking the fries in that oil. You're going to give people a heart attack. Guys, we've had 50 years of failure. We've had 50 years of failure. You would think we'll try something else. Anywho, I didn't even get to the other studies I wanted to. Large study comparing low carb versus low fat diet, and the low carb diet wins every time. Lower the carbs. Not moderation, elimination. Elimination. Oh, Doc, that ain't easy. Nothing you'll ever accomplish in life that's worth anything is easy. Okay? It's not easy. It's worth it. Okay? Not easy, but it's worth it. Okay, guys. What's Friday? Q&A. Get your questions in. info@martinclinic.com. Tell everyone about the Doctor Is In podcast. Tell everyone. Share the love, folks. Okay? Tell everyone about our new book, Sun, Steak, and Steel. Thank you for making it a bestseller. But tell everyone about it. Let them know. Okay? We might be able to change their minds. Education is wonderful, isn't it? Okay. You guys are the best. I know I tell you that, but I mean it. You're the best. Talk to you soon.